Hi, welcome back to Pei Dalet Amud Aleph. We're starting from the two dots near the bottom of the Amud. Hahu chamra dekata yada diyanuka. A certain donkey cut off the hand of a child. Atala kamed Rav Papa bar Shmuel. They came before Rav Papa bar Shmuel, or the case came before Rav Papa bar Shmuel, presumably representatives of the child. Amar lahu, he said to them, Zilu shumule arbadvarim. Go assess four things, four types of payment for. Amar le Rava, Rava says to Rav Papa bar Shmuel, V'ha'anan chamishatnan. But didn't we teach 5 in the Mishnah? Meaning, aren't there 5 categories of payment, not 4? Amar le, Rav Papa bar Shmuel says back to him, Lebar mi nezek ka'amina. I was saying with the exception of nezek, meaning 4 plus nezek, that's really what I meant. Amar le, he says to him, Amar le Abaye, Abaye says to him, to Rav Papa bar Shmuel, V'hachamorhu, but he's a donkey. V'chamor eino mishalem ela nezek, and a chamor only pays nezek. In other words, it's different than our Mishnah. The case in our Mishnah is a human injuring another human, and this is an animal injuring a human, in which case Abaye is telling us the only payment is the nezek payment. Amar lahu, so Rav Papa bar Shmuel says to them, Zilu shumule nizke. Go assess nezek, meaning he basically accepts Abaye's critique and says, sure, go assess nezek. V'ha'ka'avda bai l'mishayme. But don't we have to assess him as a slave in order to assess nezek? This could be Abaye objecting again, saying, or the Gemara objecting, saying, wait, but Rav Papa bar Shmuel, we have to assess him as a slave. Amar lahu, he says to them, Zilu shaymuhu ka'avda. Go assess him as a slave, meaning he accepts the critique once again. Yes, go assess him as a slave. Amar lahu avua diyanuka. The father of the child says to them, Lo ba'ina. I don't want you to do that. I don't want that. I don't want him assessed as a slave. Dezila be milta, because it is degrading for him. Amrule. So they say to him, to the father of the child, but you are indebting the child, or this is to the child's disadvantage, right? You're going to owe the child money because you're preventing him from getting a nezek payment. Amar lahu, so the father of the child says, L'chi gadil, when he grows up, mefaisina le mididi, I will appease him from that which is mine. Meaning, if he's upset about it when he grows up, I'll pay him from my property. I don't want him assessed as a slave. I don't want to go there. So if need be, I'll assess him. I'll give him the assessment for my property, but I'm not going to have him assessed as a slave. Next story. Hahu Torah de alas yade dianuka. There was an ox that chewed off the hand of a child. Atala kame de Rava. The case came before Rava. Amar lahu, he said to them, Zilu shemuhu ka'avda. Go assess him as a slave. Amrule, they said to him, V'hamarhu da'amar kol hanishum ke'aved ein govino to b'Bavel. But weren't you the one who said, wasn't it the master who said, that anyone who is assessed as a slave, you cannot claim that money in Bavel? Rava was in Bavel. You can't do that in Bavel. Isn't it the case that you can't do that in Bavel? We will talk more about why that is the case. Amar lahu, he said back to them, Lo tzricha di'i tafas. No, it's necessary because if he seized it. In other words, it's true. Apparently, we don't do that kind of payments in Bavel. It was no longer the minhag in Bavel, or maybe it was never possible in Bavel to give payments where the value wasn't fixed, where you had to assess the value on a case-by-case basis. So yes, it's true, we don't do that, but nonetheless, it's necessary for me to say this. So lo, no, tzricha, it's necessary for me to say this. Di'i tafas, for if he seized it, meaning if the injured seized property belonging to the injurer, saying, I'm owed this much money. So in that case, we don't take it back from him. We allow him to keep what it is that he's owed. So in that case, we would do the assessment, but we wouldn't do the assessment l'chachila. We wouldn't do the assessment to start with and then say, you owe such and such money. We don't do that in Bavel. Okay, we'll pause here.